And holy crap, what an episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Civil Canadian. I'm Scotty V. So we're going to be talking about WandaVision episode number 5. And holy crap, what an episode. So let's start off with this episode. Basically, Monica Rambeau discovering how she came out, why are things different, and all that stuff. And Jimmy Woo and Dr. Lewis are there trying to figure out all the stuff. And throughout this process, and this episode takes place during the 80s, I believe. So Wanda's in that 80s style, sort of mimicking Fuller House. But there was a few cool things I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. Now, remember a while ago that Kevin Feige talked about adding a post-credit scene to Avengers Endgame, but ultimately they did not. So we get what that post-credit scene was supposed to be in this episode. WandaVision, episode 5. Wanda broke into the Sword headquarters and stole Vision's body. We also learned that there was a fail-safe that if Vision were to ever die, never to be resurrected again. And that's why we didn't see Vision in Avengers Endgame, because Vision had that protocol. If he were to ever die, never to resurrect him again, because you know what happened with Ultron and all that stuff with the Sokovia Accords and all that stuff. But Wanda disobeyed that order, went to go grab his body, and also made the world her own universe or whatever. And throughout this episode, we see her children and neighbor Agnes coming in, obviously being a shit disturber that she is, trying to take care of the babies. But the babies, Billy and Tommy, grow up quick like that. And the funny thing is, Billy and Todd are aware of what Scarlet Witch is doing. They're aware that they're getting older, and they understand why time is moving fast. Because in one scene, they said, "Oh, why is Dad working on a Saturday?" But Scarlet Witch is like, "You know what? It's actually Monday, and he was called into work. Yada yada yada. You need to watch the episode." Another cool thing is when Vision was at work, they were actually getting computers for the first time, and they received a message from the Sword Agent, from Darcy Lewis, and they were all making jokes about it and laughing about it. But then Vision got his fingers and went to the guy's head and took him out of his mind control state, and he started crying and going nuts. He's like, "Help me, you need to stop her, she's in my head, blah blah blah." And holy crap, Vision's like, "What the hell is going on?" So then after Vision figures all this stuff out, Vision is like, "Wanda, what the hell's going on? Something's not right. You can't control me anymore, yada yada yada." And that's what Vision is slowly understanding what's outside of Westview. And I think we saw in sort of a preview that Wanda or Vision does come out of the dome, or hex as Darcy calls it. And I don't know if it's going to be next week's episode or the week after that. I think next week's episode is going to be Halloween, I think. But don't hold me down to that. And also, earlier on in this episode, I'm going all over the place. I should really number these down. But earlier in the episode, the Sword and Monica Rambeau send in a drone. And they hear, and Wanda is giving her kids a teachable lesson, as they do all in the 80s and 90s shows about parenting their children and all that kind of stuff. They hear something coming in, and Wanda sees the drone, and then you can see the first time in a while that her eyes turn red. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's getting real. And then all of a sudden, we hear a breach. Wanda comes out of the portal. Holy shit, she came out friggin' pissed off. She brought the drone, she threw the drone, she's like, "This is my world, I have everything I want, you leave me alone, I leave you alone." So it's crazy, and she's like, I have everything I want, and blah blah blah. And she saw Monica Rambeau, and she's like, oh, you're still here. She was ready to throw her across the universe, man. And then she's like, I said, she said, leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. She goes back into her world, and when she went back into her world, she kind of made the dome visible. Before it was like transparent, so you can see what's on the other side, but not really see. But this time she full on made it red. So now you cannot miss it. It's there, and if you don't see it, then you're blind as a bat or something. I don't know. But the one thing I want to talk about this episode that holy crap, it blew my mind. I'm just letting you know. Spoiler warning right now. If you have not seen the episode, please, for the love of God, pause this video and then come back. I'm pretty sure I'm not even gonna get 10 views, but I hope I get more than that. The doorbell rings after Wanda and Vision have a sort of husband and wife fight. The doorbell rings and Vision's like, I don't believe you. You're doing that. But she's like, it wasn't me. She opens the door. She has a shocked face. And Dr. Darcy Lewis is watching this on the TV screen. And she's shocked. And Wanda's like, she's paused. And the Vision's like, who is that? Holy shit, did I kid you not? It was Quicksilver. Now, not the MCU Quicksilver, Evan Peters from the X-Men franchise. He showed up on the door, and she's like, Pedro? And then freaking he's like, hi. And he's like, can I get a little hug from my sister? I'm like, holy crapola, that was insane. I knew he was cast in this show, but I didn't know who was going to play Quicksilver again. You know what I mean? So this means this episode just opened up the door to the Fantastic Four, to the X-Men, or more the X-Men than anything else. But my goodness, I wonder what the big the big cameo is going to be at the end of the series, man. Whew, that was a lot to take in, man. When I saw that episode, it was great. It was well structured. It was balanced between going to sitcom to movie style. It was great. It made sense. The science obviously made sense. And it's just crazy. Now, I have a lot of theories running through my mind now. If she is starting to lose control, who brought that version of Quicksilver to her front door? Also, could be Doctor Strange getting that feeling. You know how he's supposed to direct our reality or their reality. So he's going to get that little tingling feeling like Spider-Man gets and is like, hey, something's not right. And he's going to show up at the end and fix everything. I don't know. But they just completely opened the door for the multiverse, and I'm so happy that they did this. And I cannot wait to see Spider-Man 3 because now everything is starting to make sense because Wanda just opened the multiverse. We got the multiverse version of the Quicksilver character, and now this makes sense for Dr. Octopus, Electro, Green Goblin, which William Dafoe just got spotted on set for Spider-Man 3 as the Green Goblin and Norman Osborn. So this episode just full-on explains everything. But we still don't know how he traveled in. Now, is there someone else playing a factor in this? Is it like Nightmare or Mephisto? Probably. We don't know yet. But they're making out Wanda to be the bad guy of the show. Which, smart move on Marvel's part. But let me know down in the comments down below what you thought of this episode. If you've watched it or not. But man, I was so excited to see this episode. And I didn't expect Quicksilver to show up. I thought it was, if Quicksilver was showing up, I thought it was going to be Aaron Taron Johnson or whatever. But obviously, it was not him. It was Evan Peters from the X-Men movie. So let's see if we're going to get some slow-mo sequence before the season ends. So, yeah, I don't rate these shows, but movies I do. I don't know why. But let me know, like I said, I'm repeating myself. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this episode. I loved it. I can't wait for episode 6 next week. It's going to be a long 7 days, but I'm here for it. Now, before I head out, Super Bowl is this Sunday, so be around. Make sure you stick to the Civil Canadians because I will be doing trailer reactions for the Marvel stuff in DC if they post anything. So make sure you subscribe. Even if you give me a like, I'll be greatly appreciated because it helps the algorithm out and for more people to see it because lately the channel has been slowing down. I don't know why, but make sure you hit a like, please. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Be good.